Hey everybody, Jason Collins, Papa's Woodshop. Welcome back. I want to tell you guys a brief story, and then we're going to unbox this and take a look at it. Several weeks ago, I was working on a project where I was having to do a lot of sanding. And up until this point, I have used, hang on one second, I have used a Black & Decker 5-inch palm sander. Now, I've had a couple of these. They've worked out great. I really had no complaints with it whatsoever, other than I needed to have a second sander because my wife was helping me and because we had quite a bit of sanding to do. So we went out to get a second sander, and like a lot of people who are amateur woodworkers, you know, price is always a consideration. So we went to Walmart with the intention of getting another Black & Decker palm sander, and I think those range in about the $20 to $30 range. They were out, and so I wound up getting a Skil 5-inch palm sander and brought it home, and we used it for maybe a total of 4 hours over the course of about 3 days. And it just absolutely stopped working. In fact, I'll show you guys a clip of when the sander stopped working. So I reached out to Skil and sent them the clip that you guys just watched, and I said, hey, look at the goofy thing that this sander is doing. And so they in turn got in touch with me, called me on the phone and said, hey Jason, we've never seen that happen before. We would like to take care of that, so I'm emailing you a UPS shipping label. If you'll take that old sander and stick it in a box, we'll pay for shipping, get it back to us. Our engineers want to take a look at it to see what's happening with it, and then we're going to send you out another sander. So that's what I have right here, and I just want to give a shout out to the people at Skil for being standing behind their product. I think that is absolutely awesome. They stepped up to the plate. They excelled, in my opinion, at customer service and taking care of a problem with their product. Now, this sander, unlike the Black & Decker sander, and I'll set this over here, unlike the Black & Decker sander, this one actually has what they call a pressure control. And it does a great job of letting you know the amount of pressure because it has this LED light bar that shows up on here to show you whether you're doing very light, or medium, or heavy pressure by 2 green bars, a yellow bar, and then a red bar. Standard Velcro stuff on the bottom, so it will take, you know, any of the standard 5-inch hole punched sanding discs that are out there. And then it also comes with a, in my opinion, much better filter than a lot of the ones that I have seen. This seems to be a very fine dust filter that goes on here. I only used the dust filter very briefly on the other one that I have. I don't normally use a dust filter because I have the vacuum that I hook up to it. So that's what we're going to do today. And I will point out one other thing. The Black & Decker sander, for whatever reason, and guys at Black & Decker, if you see this, what in the world were you thinking when you did this? I mean, the dust ports on them, let me just show you real quick. and I'm not even sure, this is just a standard 5-gallon shop vac. And I guess it's an inch and a quarter hose. It fits perfectly with the help of just a little bit of duct tape, but it fits great in here, and it practically eliminates 99% of the dust. I mean, when I'm running this thing on here, there's practically no dust to deal with whatsoever. On the Black & Decker unit, obviously you can see I've got blue painter's tape on here. I had to do that just so I could get some kind of a seal on here, because the Black & Decker dust port thing is just really tiny and small and doesn't really fit any kind of dust collection whatsoever. So Black & Decker, guys, what were you thinking? I mean, do something about that, please, because that's just goofy to have that like that. So anyway, we're back to the Skil. They send over a couple of different grits of sandpaper. We've got an 80, we've got a 120, and we've got a 220. I want to start sanding up these pieces that I have cut out for my granddaughter's old-timey toolbox. So we'll start out with the 80 grit, and let's get to sanding. Hey, that's it. I'm not going to bore you guys with watching someone sand. The only thing I can imagine that would be more boring than watching someone sand wood would perhaps be watching paint dry. So anyway, I want to let you guys know that Skil is not a sponsor of Papa's Wood Shop. I just wanted to share with you the awesome customer service experience that I had when I had a product that failed. Now, you know, most manufacturers would prefer to not have a product fail, but when they do have one fail and they really step up to the plate and turn that into an awesome customer service experience, I think that's incredible, and that's why I wanted to share that with you guys, because that's exactly what happened with my experience with Skil. Hey, once again guys, if you like Papa's Wood Shop, subscribe. It is through subscriptions and through you guys taking care of my sponsors that I'm able to do cool stuff for you guys. So be sure, you know, click over here, subscribe, you know, Facebook and all the other stuff, connect on social media. Stay tuned. We'll have a cool project coming out next week.